Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And we are back for part 2 of the power of patience. That's right, the power that you can get over your own life and in your life by not losing your mind and snapping out of anger because someone is making you wait for something or things aren't working out the way you want. It is a very useful power. I would imagine, Sam, that with a couple of little kids at home, you either have a lot of patience and it takes you a long time to, lose control and yell at your kids, or maybe some days you have no patience and you kind of warn the kids, I'm in a bad mood today, so everybody be good or there'll be trouble. So which is it?
Yes, well actually you have described the situation perfectly. It is usually one or the other. And usually the bad days are like we're up all night because somebody was sick or whatever and I have very little sleep, and so the next morning I go, I love you guys, but I need to tell you I'm very grumpy today, so let's be a little bit calm. But one thing I think is very interesting that I've noticed on my more patient days is that patience is kind of contagious.
It spreads,
yes,
you mean?
This kind of feeling of if I'm super calm and I'm okay with everything and everything is relaxed, my kids are super calm. And they're very relaxed and they don't even really fight. They start to get mad about a toy, and if I'm like, it's all right, let's try to figure it out, then they can take a breath. On those not patient days, if I get too snappy, then they get snappy, then everybody's snappy, and it's a bad cycle.
Interesting. Well, I mean, we know that dogs can feel the feelings of people, so humans could be the same. That makes sense. And if you're with a friend and they're losing their patience, maybe that's a good idea for you not to join them, even if they're right, even if they're upset about something that is true, instead of joining and go, that's not fair and we should be upset. No, you try to be the calm one. You be the cool water to their hot water, and hopefully things will stay in balance. Because really, in the big city with so many people, you need patience. Sometimes you have to wait your turn. If you go to the countryside, things are far away and life moves more slowly. You need to be patient there. I mean, in many times of our lives, we need patience, especially if you're using a computer that just won't do what you want it to do and the internet's slow and there's nothing that can get solved if I lose my mind there. So patience is a power, a superpower. Let's find out how to get more of it in our lives. Right now, go right now. Let's watch the video now. Patience is very helpful when we need to decide something. It lets us take time to see everything. Then we can think of different actions before we make our choice. All right, the power of patience, part 2. Now we know why patience is very important. Now we can find out how we can get more of it and really harness that power.
Yes, and so we continue with the article, and it says, patience is very helpful when we need to decide something. And I think that this is something that a lot of people will say, where they say to take time with your decision making because you don't want to make a quick decision, you want to make the right decision. So stop, think about it, check all your options, the pros, the cons, and then decide. So having patience during this time is very helpful. And if something is helpful, this is just an adjective that means full of help, which means that is something that is useful or that is good or that will help you in some way. So having patience when you're making decisions, that's helpful. Having a map when you don't know where to go, that's helpful. So something that can help you, that is helpful.
Absolutely. It should also make your life better or help you avoid problems. And that's what patience can do, especially when it comes to making big, important decisions. You might have a decision to make. It might be making you stressed and worried and anxious and, I don't know what to do. I just got to decide. Once I decide, I won't have the problem. My mind will go back to being relaxed. true, but if you don't think carefully, if you don't decide well, then just making that decision might make many more problems in the future just because you couldn't be a little patient. As the article says, patience, especially when it comes to deciding things, to making choices, patience lets us take time to see everything, right? We can look at our options. We can ask people, what do you think I should do? They might have an idea for something you could do that you never thought of. And if you hadn't taken the time to ask them, you would have made another decision, maybe an okay decision, but maybe not the best decision. Then, if you have the patience, if you are given the time to look at your options and think carefully, then we can think of different actions before we make our choice. Because many times your first choice will be fine, will be okay, but sometimes you'll find that, oh, I could have made a better choice if I'd just been a little patient before I took action. And action, in this sense, when we're using it as a noun like this, is basically just doing something, doing that thing that you thought about, all right? So take action is a bit of advice we often give to people. Instead of thinking about it or talking about it or researching it or making a plan, go and do it. Don't just think or talk or plan, do. So the doing part is an action. And in fact, in English, when we talk about verbs, doing words, these are action words, right? When you're actually in the business of performing, of doing things, or taking an action. Let's take a break. That's a short little action we'll take to take a break, and then we'll be back with more. Patience is also important for our health. It helps us stay calm when there's stress. When we stay calm, we deal with people better too. That helps us have better relationships. With patience, we can be successful at school, at work, and more. It can really make our lives better. Now that is power. All right, let's get back to our article. We've been learning about how patience, especially when we make big decisions, can help us avoid making decisions that are not so good. It can give us time to make the best plan and the best decision, as long as we don't act too quickly. Have some patience. Here's another good thing about patience. It's also important for our health. Yeah, of course, your mental health, just not being worried and stressed, but also your physical health too. If you're worried up in your mind, it can affect your body in very real ways. It says it helps us stay calm when there's stress. Your heart beats too quickly, your blood pressure goes up, you can get ulcers from worrying too much in your stomach, it can affect your sleep and your diet. And you can just generally get sick more easily when you're stressed and worried and upset all the time. So it's really good for your health, both in your mind and in the rest of your body.
Yes, and your health, this noun, you might have heard the adjective healthy. If you generally are in good health, then we would say you are healthy. And this is just, how is your body doing? What is your overall condition? So when we talk about your health, you might have good health or you might have bad health, but this is just, how are you doing? How is your body running? How is everything moving? Is everything going well? You would go to the doctor for checkups to check on your health. If you're not healthy right now, then you need to maybe make some changes to get healthy. If you are healthy, great, then your overall health will be good. So this is just that word that talks about anything that's about how your body is doing, what your condition is, how are things going.
Exactly. And we also had this word stress. Stress is not good for your health. Stress is the feeling that your body has when you're under a lot of strong and not good emotions, unhappy emotions. If you're sad, that is a form of stress. Let's say you've had your heart broken, your love affair has ended, and you're so sad. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you worry all the time. Your stomach always feels like it's very upset. That could be stress. It could also be because you're nervous, you're afraid of something. Maybe kids at school are giving you trouble. Maybe your boss at work is giving you trouble. Maybe you're worried about something that could happen in the future, something bad could happen. But all of these things, they kind of build up, they hang around in your mind. They're always sort of, at the back of your brain, even when you're trying to forget about them. You can have these negative feelings come back, and they can last for days, weeks, months, even longer. And it can cause people to have skin problems, have their hair fall out, who knows? But stress, especially when we feel it, when it's in our lives and in our minds for a long time, it can really have a lot of bad effects on our lives and our happiness and our health. So let's avoid it as much as possible.
Yes, and so now the next part of the article, we kind of talked about this part a little bit, but it is very interesting. It says, when we stay calm, we deal with people better too. That's kind of like how I had mentioned that when I am calm with my kids, then they are calm too. And that works with not just kids, that works with friends and parents and teachers. This relationship, any relationship that you have, if you can approach it from a calm place, even if something's going wrong that you're not happy about, then the calmness kind of spreads to everybody else. And that helps us have better relationships. If people know that they can talk to you and you're not gonna just get super angry really fast, then they're more willing to say, hey, I made a mistake, how can we fix it? Or if they think you're gonna get super mad, they might not want to tell you, and that can make everything worse. So being calm can help all your relationships.
Absolutely, and help you avoid hurting those relationships by saying mean or angry words when you're upset and having all of those problems come along. With patience, it says we can be successful at school, at work, and more, like in our relationships with people around us. And of course, we all want to be as successful in our lives as we can. To be successful means to reach your goals, to do the things that you want to do, to basically have a lot of things that you're trying to achieve. It could be having a good job or getting a good education, having lots of friends and a very happy social or family life. If you reach those goals, if you work hard to get that job or to, do that thing or to have those great relationships, then you are successful. You have set a bunch of goals or objectives, and through hard work, you have reached those goals. So there you go, pat yourself on the back, and now go out and smash it, do even better tomorrow.
Yes, and so we go back to the article for the very end, and it says it, meaning having patience, the power of patience, all this kind of stuff. It can really make our lives better. Now, that is power. So again, this idea of patience, it really is very powerful in your life.
Very, very good advice. And yes, definitely something that we want to grow and develop as much as we can. It makes our relationships better. It makes our health better. And it also just makes it easier to get up and get going in the day. Even when you have a few problems, you'll realize that with some patience and wisdom, most problems in life can be overcome, and you can be as successful as you want. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care of yourselves, each other, and your minds. And we'll be back here with you guys very soon. Until then, I'm calm.
Just wait.
Meditating. Bye-bye. Patience is very helpful when we need to decide something. It lets us take time to see everything. Then we can think of different actions before we make our choice. Patience is also important for our health. It helps us stay calm when there's stress. When we stay calm, we deal with people better too. That helps us have better relationships. With patience, we can be successful at school, at work, and more. It can really make our lives better. Now that is power.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 helpful 形容词，有帮助的，实用的。The map is very helpful for getting around the city. 这张地图对于在城市中移动非常有帮助。下一个单字 action 名词，行动，措施。Ken's brave actions saved many people during the fire. Ken 在火灾中勇敢的行为拯救了很多人。下一个单字 health 名词，健康。Smoking is bad for your health. 抽烟对你的健康有害。最后一个单字 successful 形容词，成功的。Zach's new business was very successful. Zach 的新事业非常成功。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 take time to 加动词，挪出时间做某事。Take the time 用来为了某件重要的事情而挪出时间的情况。我们来看看这个例句。Penny always takes time to work out at the gym. Penny 总是挪出时间去健身房运动。Work out 就是健身。下一个文法 think of something 想到考虑到某事物。think 的三态是 think, thought. 我们来看看这个例句。Karen thought of a good idea for her project. Karen 为她的专案想到了一个好点子。最后一个文法 stay calm 保持冷静。Stay 在这里是一个连缀动词，后面接形容词表示保持、维持某一个状态。Calm 指的是冷静的、镇定的。我们来看看这个例句。During emergencies, it's important to stay calm. 在紧急情况下，保持冷静是很重要的。Emergency 就是紧急情况。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Toot toot, clickety clack. All aboard the Alishan Forest Railway. High up in the mountains at an elevation of 2,216 meters, this line takes you on a thrilling ride through misty forests and tea gardens. Join us, and together we'll take a wonderful Taiwanese journey where you will discover the 5 wonders of Alishan. What are they, you ask? They're the sunrise, the sea of clouds, the railway, the forest, and the sunset. Are you ready to explore Alishan? Alishan Forest Railway is a hotspot in both Jiayi City and Jiayi County. The railway has many stations along the way to Alishan. The railway was used for delivering logs. Now, many tourists come here to experience the ride. The railway here is different from other railways. During the ride, you will pass by Dulishan. You will find that the train runs up the mountain in spirals. This is because there is not enough space to build more rails. Besides, Z-shaped switchbacks are designed to reverse the direction of a train. With them, you can have a round trip on the same pair of rails. During the ride, you can see various plants and trees at different altitudes. Alishan Forest Railway is one of Taiwan's important assets. It is listed as a potential World Heritage Site. Okay, are you ready to catch your best photos yet? As we wrap up our Alishan Forest Railway journey, ensure your cameras are ready to point to the east, as the sunrise here is a showstopper. Alishan offers moments of fresh mountain air, a dash of adventure, and a symphony of nature. Each glimpse is a treasure, and every chug chug is a melody.